Beeman here, bursting with excitement, because we're back at the Minnesota State Fair. From chickens to chicken on a stick, nothing says Minnesota like the Minnesota State Fair. I remember as a child standing at this gate, listening to my uncle say, "Let me at those animals," and my mom replying, "You're in public. Keep your hands in your pockets." But sadly, I digress. Farm humor isn't for everyone, and we're here for a lighthearted respite from all the day's work and worries. So, refresh that bong water and take a long draw. It's TC Streets time. There's not a better value in town than the State Fair ticket. And this stamp allows you to come and go as you please. So if you're in an open or clandestine relationship, the savings can really add up. Modern advancements in the wheelchair/scooter have allowed the elderly and infirm to roam the fairgrounds with the ease of an advanced toddler. If my foot condition deteriorates any further, I may be renting a scooter by noon. I need to get off my feet, so let's take a bird's eye view of the fair on my favorite ride, the Sky Ride. This Sky Ride reminds me of something Rubbles the Clown's son, international action film star Brick, said. It goes, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, cut off your hair. You're a danger to yourself and others." Last year, Nick Hammer, the comic plumber, had me do an in-depth review of this restroom. That won't happen again. TC Streets would like to offer a sincere apology to all occupants of the restroom who were relieving themselves during the taping of that segment. It was never our intent to cause emotional discomfort or the cessation, even for a brief moment, of anyone's bodily functions. Finally, I would politely ask that all future criticism and hate mail pertaining to that segment be directed to the executive producer, Fred Filoni, who came up with the segment, or Nick Hammer, the comic plumber, who bailed on the idea and put this plumbing greenhorn into such a precarious position. Now for a restroom review I can get behind. This porta potty near the cow barn was a dizzying array of sights and smells. The sights: blue, 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 and more blue. A small painting would be nice. The half-eaten Pronto Pup in the corner of the floor gave the room a homey feel. The smells: the half-eaten Pronto Pup, of course, which had a subtle bouquet that mixed seamlessly with the partially digested corn dog I glimpsed in the bowl. The rest of the smells were indistinguishable because they were fully digested. After a couple minutes experience the cow barn porta potty, the cow barn was this cowboy's safe haven. Hello, I'm Buzz Beeman impersonator Newt Dinkelman, here for Wet Jet, and I was made for damp heat. I pretty much lived in a water-filled oil drum when I was a kid in Georgia. I'm here to tell you, those days of oil drums were nice, but nothing beats the warm, pulsating jets of a Wet Jet hot tub. Not to mention the upside of extra wiggle room. It's tough to have two in an oil drum, unless you're of diminutive stature. Wet Jet hot tubs, even in their smallest size, offer plenty of legroom for two. Newt Dinkelman for Wet Jet hot tubs, signing off, saying, if you need room to relax, trade in that oil drum and make some friends. You know what they say about beans. As you can tell by the display, the funding is already running out. We're here at the baseball dealership Chevrolet, where the deals keep hitting the mid at 100 miles an hour. Riding up here makes me think putting a bird in a cage is like putting a kid with ADHD in a straitjacket. Only worse. If I had some friends, I'd buy one of these fine beauties here. Go up to the lake. In my childhood edition, the Guinness Book of World Records cited a park ranger they claimed was struck by lightning 7 times, apparently the world record, and he survived to tell the tale. It had a picture of him holding a hat with a hole in it, a shining example of both the existence of God and the stupidity of man. Here we have Colonel living the dream of 2 million Americans incarcerated in American prisons. It's a better dream than alligator Alcatraz.
Will not be tasting Colonel Pope after my terrible
Corn dog. The corn dog. Oh no, it was a Prano Pup. I'm wrong. I stand corrected.
Colonel Pope. That's the one.
Moo! Cows are used for many things, from burgers to brie. Moo! They can be enjoyed daily or on special occasions, depending on your preference and budget. Moo! What I didn't know is that they make many other items that I had no idea came from the Honorable Cow, such as candles, crayons, cellophane, and combs. And those are just some of the words starting with C. How about bandage adhesive, piano keys, etc., etc.? What can't be made from the cow? A bridge, maybe, but who knows? I may be corrected on that one. So next time you're sipping a White Russian with your T-bone by candlelight, staring at your girlfriend's eyeliner, make sure you tip your cap to the one making it all happen, the Honorable Cow. Moo! They say time flies. I say that depends. For some, it grinds. That reminds me, I need a new overnight mouth guard. Buzz Beeman reporting from the Hippodrome. TC Streets is very excited to have exclusive access to this year's sheep herding competition. They're grooming the grounds and setting up as we speak. They say the smart money this year is on the notorious ankle biter, Fangs of Fury. TC Streets is happy to report the metro area's last remaining undisturbed wetland is hale and hearty, teeming with cattails and toads. This sheep has given me an inferiority complex. One afternoon, I looked up and I saw one tiny white cloud all alone in the sky. I thought, finally, acknowledgement. Buzz Beeman with breaking news. It seems that the Ku Klux Klan has taken over the lamb industry in America. The poultry barn is closed today because they've eaten all the old chickens and they need to replace them with the new chickens. Who knows how many lives have been saved due to the many public service displays that are shown throughout the fair. One of my favorites teaches you that care should be taken whenever one's dealing with high voltage. In the 7th grade, a fellow student told our class that he saw a kid's shoes melt after he touched a downed power line. Not everyone has had the opportunity to experience such a graphic description in grade school. So hats off to all the power companies who take the time to offer important life-saving advice that even my twin, Mr. Busted Hank Twitchy, could understand. That is, if he ever left the beer garden. There's no one in the meditation tent to get us through. Yeah. Meditation tent is very popular this year. You can see the first page has already been filled out. Packed, but thank you. Seems like we've caught it at an off time. We have the place. Wow, that was pretty loud for the meditation tent. I recommend some soundproofing next year. Soundproofing. I'm gonna write soundproofing on here. Soundproof tent. Sound tent. With many exclamation points because I'm very firm about this idea. I want this tent soundproof next year. What time is it? It's 12:02. Fire truck goes by. Never in my meditation. I'm gonna have to try to recover. Buzz Beeman signing off saying, oh, this feels good. I'm refreshed and ready for more reporting from the Minnesota State Fair. Buzz. Need to get away with it too. I was never taught that Neil Armstrong had such severe rheumatoid arthritis. It says this helmet protects astronauts from vacuum, meteoroids, and radiation. But can it protect them from AI? Vacuum death can't be pleasant. And at that point, is this helmet really any help at all? Another day at the office, school, etc., etc. Finally, a dose of reality to temper the excessive optimism of this exhibit. Apparently, they think this is what I would look like on Mars. It does hide my back fat. With Metro Transit bus ridership plummeting, we at TC Streets think it's time to switch to these electric short buses. Replace the plexiglass partition with a metal cage, position 1 or 2 armed guards strategically, and paying ridership should skyrocket. Here we have what I like to refer to as the Shared Reality Museum. The only question this museum leaves us with now is the question of questioning. We've now entered the Wayne Thibault section of the Creative Arts Building. Cakes and cookies abound, all with small sections cut out from the previous day's spit tasting. What happens with all the leftovers? I could probably Google it, but I don't need any more Good Housekeeping pop-up ads. What do we have here? To me, it's a visual metaphor for RFK Jr.'s voice. What's your interpretation? Forward all interpretations to TC Streets on YouTube. Remember, there are no wrong answers. Well, that certainly is a creative display. Finally, I'm being forced to leave because this Dutch Jennifer Aniston doll is freaking me out. Does anyone really like Friends? She redeemed herself in The Good Girl, though. It's not her fault Friends was garbled milquetoast nonsense. Now the creme de la creme of the fair. The rotating butter sculpture display of Princess K of the Milky Way, including sculptures of all other pageant participants. This place is so wholesome, I almost believe in a future free of gonorrhea. The people on those rides didn't see the drunken early morning setup day that I saw in my youth.
Might as well.
Buzz Beeman in the Hippodrome. It's the finale of the sheep herding competition, and Fangs of Fury is on her best behavior. For those of us who were looking for a little more ankle biting, today's event has proven to be an utter disappointment. Fangs of Fury has completely destroyed all competitors. When will I learn? Mary Nibbler, you've let me down again, and I needed that parlay.
There's a bunch of people in there, though.
This moose is boring. I've been telling the fair for years that they need a couple of guys in a moose suit to wander around in the wetland exhibit. If they really want a crowd, they could have it pretend to stomp another guy to death. Could probably charge admission for that. Everyone loves a parade. I think it's the waving. The smiling is nice. It's supposed to be beneficial for the depressives. But the waving is the real ticket. You can smile anywhere. But where else can you freely wave your arms around without causing unwanted attention? A concert, you say? Yes, that's true. But that'll cost you a pretty penny. Instead, I recommend a parade. Whenever possible, really. Wave those arms and feel that freedom. The smile will just come naturally. Just what I needed after all of the hubbub today. A little free nature bathing. The scent of these trees has me daydreaming about Gene Fernrustler. I have to get out of here before I start crying. Will I ever find safe harbor? Looking down on the fair, I'm starting to believe that this whole operation is funded by the Chinese government, with kickbacks to agribusiness and the insulin industry. I remember when my friend Butch was walking out of that building during a rainstorm. The gutters were overflowing, and one of the underpants was washed off the roof and fell onto his head. To top it off, the underpant had a big brown stain on it. It really affected him. Now he looks up every time he crosses a threshold, whether indoor or out. Seems excessive to me. Rumor has it the carnies sell the rooftop collectibles on the internet after the fair shuts down, almost exclusively to evangelical preachers. Here's to you, Mr. Elliott and Brothers Allman. Oh, Daddy! Oh, Daddy! Oh, Dadsy! Oh, Dadsy!
I might have to go over there and put on a few more of those, put on a couple more of those 45s. Show that guy how it's done. Put a couple more of those 45s. Show that guy how it's done. And the sisters, what kind of sisters are they letting join the army these days? Only 325s.
Look down there. There are the carnies. They're storing the aforementioned rooftop collectibles. Well, it's time to quit horsing around. My bowels are rumbling and my feet are kaput. Buzz Beeman signing off saying, I may not make it.
Oh no, I think I pooped my pants.